There are 94 games on this Commodore C64 cassette. What's more, you don't need any turbo cartridge to load it. If you want to know how to make this kind of tape, this episode is for you. Hey, it's Adamstrad. Everyone who had an 8-bit computer with cassette player remembers how long it took a game to load. There were some turbo cartridges that were made to speed it up, like polished black box with different mixtapes created for its owners. In this movie, I want to show you how to prepare a turbo game cassette that will not require any cartridge at all to load. We won't use images of tapes or discs as our source files to create a working Commodore games cassette. We will use PRG files instead and be able to convert them to turbo tape image tap files using the SlushLoad program. Then we can convert a tap file to a WAV file using Tap2Wav program. The last step will be recording a WAV file to a cassette using a cassette recorder with a USB port, or by connecting a music player that supports WAV files to the line-in port in our cassette recorder. We start by downloading a game library. Log into your archive.org account. Now enter the Old School Emulation Center TOSEC page and click Show All link below the download options. Then click on Commodore C64, Games, Arcade, PRG, and download the zip file. Now we need to extract the game archive we've downloaded. But be aware that if you are using Linux, you need the latest 7-zip from the official website because the distribution packages could be outdated. After installing the newest version, we use the 7Z command to extract our downloaded game archive. Now let's download the SlushLoad program from the CSDB website. We extract it and read the readme.txt file. This program allows us to convert not only the singular PRG files to tap files, but also the whole PRG files collection when using the mixtape parameter. If we want to record a physical cassette, then also the add_SKU parameter is required. SlushLoad also allows us to change the speed of the tape. I'm using the default setting, which is 5, because it's enough and will not lead to read errors on lower quality cassettes and cassette data units. To make a life easier, we can move all PRG files from their separate folders to one common folder. Now we can select games and copy them to our mixtape folder. When everything is ready, we execute SlushLoad with required parameters. In this case, we enter our output tap file name, mixtape, and add SKU parameters. We use Wine on Linux to execute Windows SlushLoad binary file. After a successful conversion, we will also see a time length of a tape with all converted games. We can also convert PRG files individually if we want to have separate WAV files for them later. We can experiment with the speed parameter, but the maximum speed, which is 13, doesn't allow a game to load even on the emulator, so I don't recommend using it. Generally, the speeds above the default one are problematic. The last program we need is Tap2Wav from the Nipper72 repository. We can install it on Linux using node.js like described on GitHub. The usage is simple. The I parameter is for providing input file name and the O parameter is for the output file name. Now we can convert our tap files to WAV and record it to a cassette. It is important to set the proper volume for recording because when it's too low or too high, the games won't load. The best way is to set it just below the maximum. When you look at the description of this video, you will find a link to a mixtape with 94 games which was created using this method. The mixtape includes PRG, tap and WAV files and also a PDF with cassette label and a cassette box cover. That's all for today. Have fun and see you in the next episode. Oh, and don't forget to like and subscribe.